Hello and welcome to Question and Answer, episode 15. Today's question comes from Mark via Facebook, personal message. The question is, what would be your views on supplements for during workouts? Every cunt from skinny to massive and even 50-year-old women seem to be drinking Amino X. Is it any use? When to take it? Is there any evidence, etc.? And then what do you take yourself? As far as like taking supplements during a workout, there really isn't anything that's of benefit unless you're going to be training for 4 hours and training intensely for 4 hours, in which case a glucose supplement could help replenish your muscle glycogen, which will help you maintain some form of intensity during the workout and not going into hypoglycemia and looking like you've just completed an Ironman. But outside of like ridiculously prolonged activity such as an Ironman or a marathon, the need for glucose supplementation is quite debatable. I can't really speak to actual durations, but anything less than an hour certainly doesn't need glucose supplementation. You need to go out to an hour and a half, 2 hours plus of like continuous activity to actually need glucose supplementation. Obviously, hydration. I don't know if that would count as supplementation, but hydration is important. Dehydration can result in up to like a 20-25% decrease in some performance parameters. I know anyone who is trained, if you're used to being in like a cool climate country like Scotland or Northern Ireland or England, and if you're trained either on a warm day or in a gym that's not particularly well ventilated, you'll realize just how important being hydrated is for one, and you'll feel so much more like weaker and zapped in a warm environment if you're used to a temperate, cold environment. So certainly during the workout, hydration is fairly important. Certainly something that I do is drink water constantly when I'm lifting, probably more so than I do during the day, but I do drink quite a lot of water during the day. But as far as like supplements during a workout, like, there's not really anything that's going to help, actually, unless it's like a banned substance. It's not going to help. Pre-workout is probably where you're going to actually get some traction. So pre-workout, caffeine is basically what's going to make any difference. You can take supplements like beta-alanine if you want to be scratching like a crack whore. I've not really found it very different. I've myself used 2 pre-workouts, apart from like coffee and Monster Energy, for caffeine, and I find they work fairly similar. Just the pre-workout is easy and you do get a bit of a buzz off it, but the 2 pre-workouts that I have used are On Nutrition, ON Nutrition Primer. You get a fairly nice buzz off that. It seems to be the right amount of caffeine, and if you take it like 30-40 minutes before your workout, you get a nice little kick of energy just from the caffeine, basically. But it feels good. It's not too much. It's not too much. Like it's not too high a caffeine dose. It's not too low. You get like a nice state of arousal from it, and I find it helps me a fair bit in the morning. If I was going to work out at 5 o'clock, say, or 6 o'clock in the morning before work, then I'd probably have 1 or 2 scoops of amino energy before I walk to work, and then my walk to work takes 40 minutes. So by the time I get into the gym and I've got through my workout sets, I'm pretty much good to go, and I'm awake. I've had quite a few good workouts on amino energy. The other one I've used is Primer by a local company in the UK. It's similar. I think it's got a higher caffeine content. I don't particularly like it, to be honest. It's got a higher caffeine content. It's got beta-alanine in it. So I don't think beta-alanine is really an active ingredient, to be honest, for lifting weights. But what it does do, you get like, if you've ever taken beta-alanine before, you get like a tingly sensation, or you get like an itchy sensation, and it sucks. I think the caffeine kicks in far too late as well. I find I took it before, like during my workout last night, because I forgot to take it before my workout. So you should ideally take it like 30-40 minutes before the workout. Sorry if I'm talking too quick. I'll try to slow down. If you take it 30-40 minutes before the workout, it tends to like kick in at the right time. I took it during the workout because I was in meetings till 6 and I trained after work. So I took it during the workout, and it did, which was like an error. was an error in hindsight. I was coaching from 8:30 to 9:30 last night, and I didn't get back in to home till like 10 and got to bed at 11. And I always find if I take a pre-workout kind of like a 6-7 o'clock time, the amino energy actually, to be honest, isn't too bad, but that primer stuff, if I take that, then I'm still like, I get shit sleep, like my heart's going like mad. I think the caffeine content's too much, and the adrenaline does shit. That doesn't do anything, and it makes you itchy. So yeah, if you wanted a recommendation for a pre-workout, I quite like a Monster Energy drink's quite good. 30 milligrams per 100 mils, so it's got 150 milligrams of caffeine, which is a fairly decent dose. It's enough to get you going. If you don't drink a lot of coffee, I drink a lot of coffee, but if you don't drink a lot of coffee, then it might be a little bit much, so you might want like a smaller can, like a Red Bull. It'll be half the dose, because it's half the amount, same amount of caffeine per 100 mils, but it's a smaller can. Obviously it's 250 mils rather than 500 mils. Or just a coffee. Plain and simple, like instant, or instant you might need to take a little bit more instant because it hasn't got so much of a caffeine content versus like something like from Starbucks or Costa or any any barista or coffee shop. Like a large double shot or triple shot's pretty nice, although it hits the bank account pretty hard. So I tend to go for either a pre-workout or a coffee from an instant prior to a workout, or if I feel, or like on a Saturday I treat myself, I'll get myself a little Monster or something for just because they taste nice and they ruin your teeth. Like there's no real evidence for anything like as a pre-workout. Caffeine, there's evidence for that for endurance exercise. Strength and power exercises, I'm not entirely sure. Would need to look at the literature. I'll be honest, I haven't looked at the literature before this video. Just from my knowledge of what I've read in the past, caffeine has been shown to be effective for endurance activity. I think it might have been shown to be effective for sprint activity. I'm not entirely sure. Repeated sprint activity would make sense. And if you're doing like, if you're hitting up double sessions, or you're doing a really prolonged kind of session, then kind of some kind of glucose drink in there, like Lucozade, Powerade, or just Coke. It's just sugar. Electrolytes, whatever. If you have a reasonably balanced diet, you'll have enough electrolytes. It's not like you're going to be sweating out enough sodium that you're going to be cramping like fuck. As long as you're keeping hydrated and you have a reasonable diet, there's not really much chance you're going to need some electrolytes during your session. BCAAs are just whey protein broken down into different branch chains, so essentially they do fuck all. You want to be, I do supplement with protein at the minute, but it's just for ease of use. I just take a couple of smoothies in the morning rather than having to cook and make a decent meal, and I find this helped me quite a bit to stay on my diet. It's just convenience more than anything. But yeah, I think whey protein's a fairly decent idea, but I think if you're going to take supplements, you should take whey protein and maybe a pre-workout, and that's pretty much it. Fish oils ain't going to do shit. Glutamine doesn't do shit. Basically, if it does something, it's a drug and it gets banned, and that's what happens. So yeah, that's pretty much my take on it. Like a decent, find a pre-workout that you like, that you find gives you a good buzz, you like the taste of it, it's not too much, not too little. Use that. I do think they're useful. I wouldn't take it for every workout because you'll blunt it. Take it for like big workouts, or take it for like early morning workouts. If you work out early morning all of the time, then fucking suck it up. Just get a couple of coffees or whatever. There's no need to be banging pre-workouts all the time. If you train early in the morning, just get more sleep and get used to training early in the morning. A couple of coffees in the morning is grand, but there's no real need to be banging Jack 3D every morning before you do a workout. Hydration is very important, but you should know that anyway. You should be drinking water throughout your workout. It's not difficult. Doesn't cost anything. Just do it. Glucose if you're doing double sessions or you're doing prolonged sessions. But to be honest, outside of that, for performance and supplementation, that's pretty much all that's going to have any effect on it. Okay, so hope that's answered your question. Again, cheers for the question. Anyone's got any questions, you can catch me on Facebook. Cast Iron Strength is the name of the Facebook page. Natty Gains is my normal handle if you want to get me on my personal Facebook, or chances are I'm probably not going to accept you, but try it anyway. Speedpowerperformance@gmail.com. You can leave a comment on the PB Machine podcast websites, pbmachine.org, or you can just get yourself on the castironstrength.com, have a go at our broken forums, or just send me an email, Speedbar Performance. I'll probably do another one of these on Friday, or Saturday, or Sunday, but I'll definitely get another one of these done this week. Until next time, this is Mark of castironstrength.com, signing off.